Imagine the power to learn and study all in a pill. A pill that promises to keep you awake, alert, and focused on the task at hand for hours. Adderall is now replacing Coke and coffee as the newest all-night study aid for students.
The first time I'd heard about it was first year in law school.
Damon Mino is one of more than 4 million American students who admits to using prescription drugs that aren't prescribed to him. One of his first experiences with Adderall came the night before a final exam when he was a law student at Northwestern.
I wanted something that was speedy, something that was like a speed or like some sort of amphetamine.
Desperate to make the grade, Mino popped the pill, kicking off his marathon study session. Turns out a lot of other students were doing the same thing. Prescription drug abuse now ranks second, only behind marijuana, as America's most prevalent illegal drug problem.
I would say lifestyle medications are definitely on the upswing.
Pharmacist Mark Paley says performance-enhancing drugs like Adderall have become in vogue among the affluent and well-educated.
People want to enhance their performance, and they use medications to do that.
But Adderall was never intended for that purpose. It gained FDA approval in 1996 as a way to improve inattention, impulsivity, and hyperactivity.
They work to actually stimulate certain parts of the brain which are less active than they should be in people with ADHD.
Dr. Mina Dolkin is head of child and adolescent psychiatry at Children's Memorial Hospital.
The difference is if you're already have pretty good judgment and you're not impulsive and you're paying attention, it doesn't get you anywhere.
Dolkin says while Adderall will keep you up at night, it won't necessarily boost performance levels.
There's absolutely no evidence that being awake, studying longer makes the product any better.
I don't think that the students really need to be concerned about damaging their brains to be at a higher ranking in the class.
Heather Winslow is an adjunct professor of law at Northwestern University. She says the highly competitive environment of law school drove students to drug abuse even a decade ago when she was a student.
There was certainly the same amount of people who were willing to use drugs, cocaine, Ritalin, excessive amounts of caffeine to stay up all night. And really, ultimately, it's the same type of self-destructive behavior that people think is making them more competitive.
But Winslow says Adderall may be more of a mind game than a medical miracle.
I think one person taking Adderall who gets high grades for a semester is going to falsely encourage people to jump on the bandwagon because they've seen the positive effects for someone that they want to compete with, someone they want to outdo.
Law school reminds me of reverse quicksand, where you have to keep moving or you'll go under.
Here are two students most would want to outdo, both in the top of their class, one a member of the prestigious Law Review. Neither takes Adderall or any type of pill to study. Instead, they stick to the old-fashioned stuff.
Lots of coffee.
I eat a decent amount of sugar.
So do they feel cheated by classmates who use Adderall to pull all-nighters?
I really just don't feel threatened by people who are on it.
No, I didn't feel slighted. I didn't feel like, oh, geez, I missed out. I should have known this, or how dare they do that. It's not like steroids in baseball where it helps you hit the ball further.
But how did Adderall become so popular? The answer is simple: curiosity and word of mouth. Statistics show 60% of people who abuse prescription drugs indicate they got them from someone they know.
That's how I got it. So I would get it, and sometimes I would distribute it to 2 or 3 of us, and we'd use it for fun.
But for Mino, that all-night study aid became a way to party, a way to get high. That fun comes at a cost. Health experts warn Adderall can be very dangerous. It can lead to hallucinations, overdose, even addiction, just like heroin and cocaine.
We actually smashed it up and snorted it while we were drinking and smoking. It didn't feel like cocaine in terms of speediness. It didn't feel like marijuana in terms of highness. It didn't feel like alcohol in terms of disorientedness. I guess, if anything, I would describe it as an acuteness.
Adderall is classified as a narcotic, and just like Ritalin or other amphetamines, it requires a written prescription.
When we prescribe it, we always talk to people about being careful. We try not to give big prescriptions. We say, put this somewhere where your friends don't know you have it.
But pharmacist Mark Paley says people always slip through the cracks.
You come to your doctor, you talk about your problem, they write a prescription, you go to your pharmacist, you get it filled. The doctor and pharmacist talking, no.
Making it easier to get Adderall even when you don't need it.
The day that finals ended, I had, I think, 4 or 5 that my friend had given me.
But it turns out Mino learned Adderall doesn't make him smarter. He used it for a constitutional law test and wasn't happy with the results.
I just completely blew it, just boofed it completely. And so I never used it again after that as a study aid.
But he still takes Adderall to party. And although Mino says he isn't addicted, he hasn't been able to close the book on this illegal study aid. Sonia Azad Medill reports.